Hi, I'm Dan, and welcome back to the Rock Nerd Radio Show here on YouTube. Today, we're doing another Which is Better figure comparison. It's been a little while since we've done this, but I got the brand new Marvel Legends Vision figure from the Void Build-A-Figure wave, and I thought it was only appropriate to compare him to the Retro Card Vision, which was released in 2018. So let's check it out and see if we can't find a vision of which is better.
Come geek out with us on the Rock Nerd Radio Show.
So, welcome to this edition of Which is Better. We are looking at these two Vision figures. The one that is moving towards the camera now is the Void Wave Build-A-Figure Vision, while the other one, the shinier paint one, is the Retro Card Vision. Both look very good, but as always, my first round is about the paint and overall appearance of these figures. Now, I have to say that I like both of these Vision figures. They look like the character. There's nothing here that makes you say, oh, is that Vision? You can kind of tell right away. So I'm just going to stop the turntable so that we can look at both of them and take a better look at both. Now, the Void Wave Build-A-Figure, his paint isn't as shiny. That does need to be said. He does look a little, I'm going to say wider in stance, not necessarily bigger. There are some nice details like the flowing cape. The colors blend together. I don't have any kind of paint bleed on mine, and it looks pretty good. I do enjoy also how the head looks. I think it is a very nice head sculpt, as well as the little diamond in there looks, or jewel, whatever is there in Vision's head, looks very good. The Retro Card release of Vision has some very shiny paint. You can kind of see the light already reflecting off of it. The head sculpt one, maybe not as expressive, does have that jewel as well as, cleanly painted paint apps. For the most part, the paint on the figure is pretty good. The only area that I have a little bit of issue is right down here at the boot cut. If you turn it just a little bit off, you can see that the yellow was painted over the green here. So it does kind of stick up. It kind of breaks up that look. If I were to pick a winner for this round, despite kind of having an issue to address here with that boot cut, I do like the paint on the Retro Card better. I like the shinier paint. I think it looks more robotic and droidic. I don't know what the right word would be, but I do feel that it looks better overall, and that's going to win out on my first round. The second round on Which is Better is always about the articulation, and quite honestly, both of these figures have just about the same style of articulation. They are on different books, but they both have head movement. The head is on a ball joint and it can move up and down. So, your head gets your regular movement that you would expect. At the arms, they both have butterfly joints. This one, I will say, it does kind of kick in a little more than on the Void Build-A-Figure wave. So Retro Card kind of kicks in a little more there, like you can see, like that arm was going fully in front of his head, where this, it goes, but not quite as far. It also, going in that far, it almost looks a little unnatural. So they both have that. Of course, they both have movement at the elbows, up, down, in, out, rotation at the bicep, double jointed elbow, and wrist swivel, as well as wrists and hands that move left to right, or, whichever way you're going to move them. They both have ab crunch. They both spin at the torso. Their legs, of course, both move up, down, in, out, kick out, whatever. Thigh rotation, double jointed knee, boot cut, and everything that you would expect on the foot. So with that said, even though the Retro Card has a little bit more of a butterfly joint in the arm there, a little bit of extra movement, I'm going to call this round a tie because they both have the same style of articulation. As I said, they're different bodies, but there's not enough here to really make me say one's better than the other, because they all move the same way. So round two, as I said, is indeed a tie. The third round is about the accessories that these figures come with, and you're literally looking at everything that this Vision comes with. The only other thing that he came with was an additional Ultron head sculpt that I believe will fit on this body, but it's an Ultron head. It's a gray, silver Ultron head, so I don't really know what you would do with that head. You could put it on the Vision body and have like an Ultron-possessed Vision, but it always felt like a bit of a weird kind of inclusion for that figure. So yeah, that was all that he has. This Vision from the Void Build-A-Figure wave has a set of interchangeable hands as his accessories. In fact, he has another open hand and another fist hand. I will say, for whatever reason, both open hands, both this one and the one that is currently on him, they're a little loose. They'll hold a pose well enough, but they don't feel quite as tight as the fists for some reason. I'm sure it's just a little bit of like paint or mold flash or whatever they call it, but they are a little loose. It's not the end of the world. As I said, they hold a pose. Like, I can shake the figure around and the hand is still in the pose that I had it. The only other thing that both of these Visions come with, and I want to bring back the retro card one for a moment, is a cape. And I don't really consider a cape an accessory because it goes in with the character's overall look as part of their overall appearance. It'd be weird to have these characters sitting here without a cape. But one thing that needs to be said about these capes is that with the retro card, it really is just floating on the figure. His head is the only thing keeping it in place. There's no peg for the cape. It's just kind of there, and it's kind of, while there are wrinkles in it, it's kind of flat. It's not a very dynamic cape. The new Vision from the Void Build-A-Figure wave does have a peg. You can kind of see it. So it pegs into the back. It can keep the cape a little more secure. Of course, there is a little bit of movement that you can get from it. But the cape itself just looks a little more fluid. It looks like it's moving a little more. It has more of a shape to it. It's not just kind of sitting flat on his back. And I feel like that makes for some additional dynamic posing. So because of the more dynamic cape and just the extra hands, which make more sense than an Ultron head, the Void Build-A-Figure wave Vision is going to win our third round. Round 4 is about the price and availability of these figures. The Void Wave Vision is currently on sale. You can get them on Amazon, on Hasbro Pulse, on Big Bad Toy Store, probably even in a Target or a Walmart. And he's running for $25, standard price of a Marvel Legends. The Retro Card Vision here on the left came out in 2018. It was kind of hard to find then. I'm lucky that I stumbled upon one in a Target. But these days, he sells for about $60 online, according to Action Figure 411. I don't know if that price is going to come down because of the release of the new one, but it's still kind of a hefty price to pay. Honestly, I don't know about you, but I'd rather pay $25. So because of that, the Void Wave Build-A-Figure here on the right is going to win round 4. Round 5 is about my overall display compatibility. And quite honestly, both of these Vision figures look really good, but I want to declare a solid winner. Now, I do have them up on a flight stand right now to kind of try to prove a point. The older Vision, the Retro Card Vision, he is definitely on a skinnier style body. I believe this was the Sunfire body, and he looks pretty decent. But when you start standing him next to modern representations of characters like Captain America, Iron Man, and things like that, he really does look skinny. My new Vision from the Void Build-A-Figure wave is on that Vulcan buck. He's a little bulkier, he's a little sized up, and honestly, he's pinless. And the pinless thing is never really much of a deal breaker for me, but in this case, when we're getting to a point where most of the Hasbro figures are, I don't want to say most, but a lot of the Hasbro figures are coming out on pinless bodies, it's gonna look a little more appropriate. It's gonna fit in a little better. I also think the cape is more dynamic on the Void Build-A-Figure version of Vision, and just having the multiple display options with the hands really make him look pretty good. So my 5th and final round goes to the Void Build-A-Figure Vision in this edition of Which Is Better. So that brings an end to this edition of Which Is Better, and the Retro Card Vision only won one round. Round 2 was a tie, and my Void Build-A-Figure wave Vision came through on 3 rounds, making the score 3-1. That means he wins overall on this edition of Which Is Better. Hey, what did you think of this edition of Which Is Better? Is the Void Wave Vision going to be your main display Vision? Are you going to stick with your retro card one? Are you using maybe one of the white Visions instead of the green and yellow Vision? Let me know in the comments below. Let me know what you thought of my rankings. Tell me if you agree or disagree. And until next time, I've been Dan. You've all been pretty awesome. Those have been some Vision figures, and I'll see you next time.